Now let's introduce the dispenser machines for you. The first, there are series components in these machines. First is the tube head holder, and this is the syringe pump, and this is the spray hand. And here is the motors for the Z-axis, and the other pumps and the tube holders. In here is a plant, and in the left of these machines is gas adjusters. Here is the control panels. Now let's go to the back of the machines. So first, this is the electrical lines, and here is the switch for on to off, and here is the socket for the cables to connect with pumps. Here is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here is the gas peppers. Here is the gas pepper to import the gas into these machines. And here is the gas filters. And there is the fans. And here is the gas paper to connect with the Z-axis model. Okay. Now let's introduce how to adjust the gas pressures. The first is the gas input papers. Socket in these papers, and then here is the here is the gas adjusters, and you can say this is the value for the gas. You can change the values from 0 to 2, and you can say there is a holder, put it out, and you can adjust the heater forward and backward. The gas will be low if you make it clockwise. If you run it clockwise, the value will be more high. And change the gas from 0 to 2. And if you want to hold it, set the gas values and hold in. Okay. Now let's introduce how to start these machines. First, make sure the value in the dashboard is okay, and then switch on. In the initializing, you can say during the initializing, all the pump will restart, and the plant will from the left to right. Okay, after start, this is the interface. Here you can see there are 5 buttons at the end of this interface. First you can see is run, and second is program, third is menus, fourth is the gas offer, and fifth is the pump menus, and then is the password input. First, let's introduce the password input. You can input the password and push enter, and then this interface will be dropped out. You can say the first there is the series buttons. First is the times. If you want to change the times, you can change the value here. And set input. Let's go back to the menu. And secondly, the password. Here is the password. You can say there is a password 1 and password 2. And there is the save date and the invalid date. Perhaps sometimes the machines tell you the data is not enough, or the valid data is come, and you can connect with our sales or after sales engineers. He will get you password 1 and password 2. You can put in your password here. And after all the password had to be input, and then the right light will be green. This light. And let's go back to menu. Okay. Now let's go to the pump RAM interface. Let's go to the pump RAM interface. You can see there is the series light, series cycle light, and this is some labels. There is the labels. Label is meaning the first label one is the first pump and the second pump, third pump, fourth pump. After have more pumps, there is the fourth and fifth. And fifth, and you can say there is the value of the pumps. You can say here is the value of these pumps. Here is 500 micrometers. You can say there is in the glass. There is the values. And there is the on off. If you don't want to use these pumps, you can put it off. And in the right of this time, these lines, the label will be shown no pumps or off. No pump or off. And here is the function of every pump: bleed and spray. If you want to change some pump to spray, you can change it here. And the pump will from the bleed to spray. Now, after you finish your jobs, all the pump, after everything is okay, perhaps all the pump will be used to bleed, used to spray, and used to bleed. After it is said there is no pump or off, perhaps there is something wrong. You can connect with all after-sales engineers. Now let's go to another interface. This is the gas up switch. Let's go to the main interface, and this is the gas up. You can say there is two switch. The first switch is for the open air. The air is from the gas pipes to the spray head. And then after you want to stop it, here is an absorb. After you put the absorb, the value is the same as the material can be added here to the plate. After you want to finish it, stop it. It's just a two switch to test the gas line, gas pepper is all right, or the absorb function is all right. Menu interface, and go back to the menu interface. The first, in this interface, you can say, the first line you can say there is a label of pumps. The first you can need to select pumps. Here is the pump, the first pump and the third pump. Is a location for the location at here and here. And if you want to choose, if you don't want to use any pumps, you can make it right light, make it right. And you want to choose some pumps, switch it. And now let's switch for the first pump and the third pumps. The second line is the forward and backward. And the backward means the forward means here is the tubes. The water or liquid from the tube and go into the pumps and go into the gas peppers and go over to the dispenser tips and jog out and drawn out. This is the forward. The backward is on the reverse directions. First from the dispenser tips and go to the pumps and go to the tubes. This means the backward. Well, and first, let's go choose the forward and the fairing. Here is the tubes. If you want to add some waters into the pumps, and first you can see the value and then fairing. 100 micrometers letters will be added to the pumps, and then then in the right is the join. If you want to join out some waters, you can put the values and make a join. You can say there are some waters or liquid drawn out, and the third switch is the filling speed and clean. The clean, you can see the clean times. You can make some component to receive the waters. Okay, there after cleaning, there is one button where jog out and push it. Let's go back. And here is the bypass. Bypass means if you don't want to use the machines five or more days. This is the water so you come here and go to the glass papers and jog out. If you don't use the machines more than 5 or 10 days, you can put the gas papers down and don't jog into the gas paper, and the waters will from here to here. So you can put the bypass. There is a 3 gate. That's 3 gate. Only there 2 gate is open. The 3rd gate is closed. And there you can make it clean or just make to reserve your water, reserve your machines. There is the function of bypass. After you put bypass, you can say there is some click sounds. Okay. Now let's introduce how to introduce the clean speed and the fair speed. The clean speed is slowly than the fair speed. If you want to make some change, you can pick change the speed, change from the clean speed to the fair speed. And then is a stop. If you stop switch, if you stop the processing of fair dry or the clean, you can switch this switch. Yes, there is the fair speed and the fast speed. There is a 2 speed for these pumps. Now let's go to the backward interface. Now first switch to the backward interface. You can say there is a shaker, reflow, and bypass. There is the first of the shaker. Shaker is from the shaker some waters from the dispenser tips to the pump. And the value of the shaker. And there is a 2 reflow. The first reflow is from the glass tips to the tubes. And the second reflow is from the dispenser tips and go back to the gas pipers and go to the tube. Now first, let's go to the reflow. Go back to the tubes, and then is the third reflow. And the function of bypass is like the same. And this is the stop function. I will want to stop the processor. You can make the stop. Now let's introduce how to adjust the pump speed. So first, let's go to the pump speed interface. Here you can say there is the 5 speed, and this is the clean speed, and this is the fair speed. And I have introduced is the menu interface. First, the error code means how many seconds the speed run 1 times. You can find the speed in the instruction menus. And if you want to change the values, put here and change the members and push enter. And the speed will be changed. Sometimes you can say the fair speed, the value of fair speed is bigger than the joint speed. The speed has been set in the factory. In our factories, After it is useless, don't change the speed of the switch, but the speed of pump. And after you do some changes, please save recipe. And the recipe will be saved, and the speed you had to change will be saved. Now let's go to the program interface. The first is a program interface. You can say there is a program for this machine. The first, there is some label and a switch, and there are some cycles. The first is the recipe. The recipe is a recipe number from 0 to 9. If you want to record some recipe, you can put some recipe number and the core recipe. After there is some recipe you want to save, you put the recipe numbers you want to save and push the save recipe. The recipe will be saved. So first you can say there is some value. The first value is x. X meaning there is in the left of the material. If you don't want some area you don't want to dispense, you can change here, change the value here. The limited is 9, but the maximum is 300. And the second is Y. You can say there is a 3 axis. The first is X this way, and the second is Y axis. That's this way, and Z axis this way. And you want to change the dispenser head from the forward to backward. In this way, you can change the dispenser head from the left to right. You can change the Y values. If you want to do some changes to the values and endings, and the Z is the highlight of this dispenser head. If you want to make it low, and you can change the value. Low or high, you can change the value. And the here is the latency. Latency is meaning how many distance of this material you want to print. And the distance of the material is 300 now. And here is the speed of dispenser. The speed of dispenser is very important. If the speed is very high, perhaps there are some lines that is not very good. If your dispenser is very low, perhaps there are some waters here in the dispenser tip. There is a pump speed. And this is the first one, second one, third one, first one, fifth one. There is light for this. The light is green for the first one and for the third one. Now let's choose. I had to choose the first one and the third ones. It means the pump interface. And here is the environment. For the environment you want to dispense it in every second. In various centimeters. In the centimeters, you want to put 1 or 2 microliters, and you can put the value here. 1 or 2. This is a unit just for the microliters for every centimeters. And after change, you need to save the recipe. And if you want to call back, you can make callbacks. Now let's go to the cycle interface. First, go to the menu, and then go to RAM. And here is the cycle interface. In this interface, you can see there is 5 labels and the one switch. One switch is for the save recipe. After you make some change, you can push the save recipe and save this recipe. The first is gap. Gap is the distance between the 2 cycles. If you want to make 4 lines, you can first make if you only 2 dispenser tips and make 4 lines, you can make the cycle is 2. First is the cycle times. Cycle times is how many cycles you just ran in just 1 time. If you want to make 2 cycles, and you can put the number 2. And first is the gate. Gate is the dispenser between these two cycles. And the third is the guided PSTN, delete PSTN. Here, delete PSTN is the delete position in this plant. You can say now is the 420 by the 21. Now here is the delete PSTN. And the third is the rain delay. If you want to make it the auto feed in the auto feed situations, if you he will stop and delay sometimes and make you to add one more material here at the plant. This is the function of rain delay. And the fifth is the return speed. Return speed is the speed for the glider to return. And then is the recipe, the same recipe. If you make some change, please push the same recipe. Now let's go to the rain interface. First, we are in the central interface, and then go to menu, and go to the rain interface. The first, you can say there is a series label. The first label is the limited. Limited means how many products you want to make in these times. And the second is the count. Count is meaning how many products you have finished in these times. And you can see the zero here. See the zero to zero. And the third is the totally. Totally is meaning how many products you had finished from the last time you set it to zero. You can see that here. If you don't set zeros, the value will be added one and one. And in the other hand, there is a four switch. The first is the grid and the spree. You can change the situation in grid and change the situation in spree. And the second one is the continuous. Continuous is the function is on and off. After you put this continuous on, he will run one. He will grid one times and two times and third times and four times. And at the gate of cycles. And the third is the auto feed. Auto feed is these machines can make added waters into the pumps or by automatic. If you don't want, you can put it off. In the every last lines, if there is not enough to display the last line, it can add the waters auto by dispense. Auto by autolet, and then it is a simulate. Simulate is if you want to dispense without waters or spray without waters, you can put it switch on. If you don't want to, you can put it the switch off. Here is the position. The position has three functions. First, you can say here is the two. You can say there is a z-axis, the values in the program. You can make the z-axis from high or low to change the value of here and make position. You can confirm the dispenser tips can adhere with the material you want to dispense or not. After the axis is very high, so you can check the value more and make it low. And now here you can say here is the screw. You can make the screw out, and you can say there is some labels A, B, C, and D. You can screen and change the distance of these dispenser tips. And after finish, you can wait. And the third function is to confirm the Y position. The Y position has been stated in the menu. In the program, You can input the Y position values and use the display hand work from the left to right. You change from the left to right and make confirm the position in the central or in the material you want to dispense. Now let's go back to the interface. And after every position, you need to push the stops. And this dispenser hand will go back to the original point. And then after you want to start dispenser, push this button. And now you can say there is a label water. Water is a very important parameters for this for the dispensing. First, you can say in this plan here is some rulers. You can see here is the left ruler and the right ruler. In this rulers, you can from the position of this 19.8 of these values and put the dispensers. It means the waters in these locations the waters will drain out. And then like that. Okay. Now let's go to the system interface. First, push the menu, and here push the RAM, and here push the system. Now let's see the system interface. You can say there is some labels, and some text, and some four switch. And the first is the forward, second is before, and the third is comprehensive. Let's introduce the forward. Forward means there is a pump A, and then this is the pump for the first pump and the third pumps. This is for the C line and the T lines. Up there is the C line is shortly than the T lines. If you want to make the C line move forward, you can input the value here. And you put the distance you want to make a forward, and push enter. And now, after there is some situation, the C line is no longer than the T line. If you want to make the C line back, you can see the value here, and push the upward values, and here, and push enter. After the value is 5 millimeters, you put here, and push enter. And then, push the forward. The value will be changed. Okay, here. Now let's go back to the default. If you want to do the default situation, you want to put default. This is the function for the forward. Now let's introduce the function of compense. Compensing means up and is the first line is the every pump. The first line in every pump is shortly than the other one. The other one is normal, but the first one is abnormal, and is shortly than the other ones. You can put the distance shortly, and then push the value and push the component, and then you can say the value of speed will be changed. Speed will be changed. And now, if you make some change and you want to save, push the save recipe. And now, if you want to go back to default, push the default. This is at the right is some cycle. The first cycle and the third cycle, meaning there is the first pump and the third pump is useful, but the other is useless. And now let's introduce some very important for you to use every day. The first there is the gas filters, You can change you can clean the gas filters by sometimes. Here is a pump. Here is a pump. You need to make a clean every day before and after works. The process of clean is everyday clean is the water, 75% air cold and water. After you don't use these machines more than 7 days, you need to make a long time maintenance before you stop. The process of long time maintenance is the waters, light acid, and the waters, light bases, and the waters, 75% air cold, and the waters. This is the process for the long time maintenance. And you can say during the start installation of these machines, don't push the hand and this pen. Perhaps it will have to do some harm to your hand. And then you can clean this plant or some of the machines by 75% alcohol and make it clean every day and before and after your works.